Jaxson Robinson got an opening statement for us, guys. Jax.
Yeah. That's our time.
Great team win. I know the first half was a little rough, but I mean, this team is resilient. Coach talks about it all the time, but just going into halftime, we're a great team that makes adjustments. I mean, it was a great win. Questions?
They were mesmerized by how good that opening was.
Mark, what can you say about Jaxson, the way he especially finished off the game with the line obviously out and then Carr going in there?
Can I? I love this story so much. Can I tell it?
I guess.
So we've talked about this a lot. You know, today in college basketball, you don't get to coach guys for multiple years very often. And so I was really blessed to coach. I'm insanely blessed to get to coach Jax for a third year. And watching players grow is like the best thing ever. It's just the best thing ever. It's the best thing about basketball. And there was a game that I teased Jax about all the time. Last year we were playing at Oklahoma, and we were playing. We were in a really good part of the season, but we just kind of laid an egg that night. And Jax was having to play a lot of point guard for us at the time. And so after one bad play, he was in transition defense, I guess the first half, running right by me on the bench, and he turned and yelled in transition, "I'm never playing point guard again." And my guy a year later is a 5 assist, 0 turnover, played the point for the last 8 minutes of the game under massive duress and the full overtime. And I'm telling you, he's special, man. What Jax has done the last 3 or 4 games defensively is breathtaking, and toughness-wise is incredible. And hit an insanely difficult shot in the overtime period to boot, and he was really special, man. So he's actually first thing he did was go straight to the training room, try and get Lamont and Kerr healthy. We'll see how that works out, but until that happens, we're really blessed to have Jaxson Robinson here.
You guys switched your defense a lot, or a few times down the stretch with the zone, and then would match up. Was that something you all prepared to do before, obviously, and what made you make that decision?
Well, it's easy to make that decision when you're getting cooked. So, sometimes, I mean, this is really true. Sometimes you're sitting there in the huddle and you'll be like, well, why not try it? Because right now what we're doing is not working. And we're really blessed to have veteran guys where we could change up a lot. We tried some blitzing. We tried some morphing zone. It's a little bit of zone we run that morphs between man and zone. It can be kind of confusing. And you can't do that with a young team or a new team, but we got these vet guys that are super high IQ, and so you can mess around with it. And these guys did an unbelievable job messing around with the game in the second half. It really helped us.
This game and the Duke game, just what can you say about your team and for the players, your teammates, about the resolve just in the second half?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we talked about it at halftime. Was just we tried to. As much as you can game plan and you can, prepare for these things, if you're not going out there and playing tough and, playing hard, and it's not going to work. So, really proud of everybody, the team. We talked about it a whole lot, and I feel like we've responded a lot this season, continually just, we have a point of emphasis that we talk about, and we really go out there and make it happen. And so for us, it was, super proud of all the guys, and showed how much leadership we have on this team about being able to step up and just, the biggest difference was being able to be physical, hit first, rebound, and we did that really well in the second half, and that allowed us to get back in the game. So super proud of these guys.
Jaxson, Coach talked about not only trusting your teammates, but actually trusting the system. I mean, you've had a couple of rough games sometimes, but to come back like you did, how much of a trust in the system is there among you guys?
I think it starts with my teammates and my coaches. I can't give them enough credit. They instill confidence in me every day. Regardless if the shot's going in or not, they know that I can affect the game in many more ways than just shooting the ball. So just trying to stay locked in, dialed in on the keys to win the game. My shot didn't have to fall for us to win, obviously. You've seen that at Duke, so just trying to stay focused.
Mark, if I told you would have scored 90 points only made 7 threes. Would you have been surprised about that?
Yeah, a little bit. We'll get to that. We got to fix that. That's going to be a really important part of our agenda. But we have it in us. We're learning, and the process we're in right now is we're going to grow. We're going to keep getting better and better and better. We had a couple of really productive days of practice where we're starting to understand how to be us against more, the best defenses in the country. And I was incredibly proud of our guys in the second half because, I mean, we're going to have a really nice film session about kind of cutting teams up because we cut. We've been talking for the last 2 days about cutting, and we had some guys make some unbelievable plays, some late passes to each other that are really important, and that all comes from guys being willing to cut hard. So I was massively encouraged today by us learning how we can punish, just seeing some of the fruit of these guys' work the last couple of days about learning how you can punish teams that really push out on you. It was actually terrific. It was really good. And you have a little bit of success like that, the guys are going to see it and they're going to believe it a little bit more, right? And it makes them a little more dangerous, and so that's really encouraging.
At what point did you know Lamont wasn't going to be able to go tonight, and do you have an update on his status, and then what happened with Carr? Do you know anything about his status?
Yeah, so Lamont came to shoot around today, and we kind of tried to just push it a little bit. It just wasn't working. Carr will go get some imaging as soon as we get back and kind of see where he stands. So we'll see on those guys. I do think Lamont is making good progress, and hopefully Kerr's tough as nails. So it take a lot to keep him out of the game.
Mark, is there any common thread you noticed with at least the two kind of slow starts in these last two first halves, or just really good opponents?
Yeah, I think the guys have just been like, man, we feel like BBN is a little bored, and so we just want to make it super, super exciting. And they're doing it. Yeah, right, yeah. Late night game, people that went to sleep at halftime would be so sad.
Coach, earlier this week, I heard you talk a lot about how Gonzaga gets their post touches, and you're obviously well familiar with that. It's really good. What did you see from them on that, how your guys handled their front court?
Yeah, I mean, they were terrific. They do what Gonzaga does, man. I mean, Huey is probably the best in the business. I mean, I think probably just about every number in the game of basketball would bear out that he's probably the best in the business. And Graham was unbelievable in the first half. He was ridiculous, man. He had us on a top and just made every shot, and they do it so fluidly. Ryan does such an unbelievable job. I mean, he's a 10-1 guy, and he was 10-1 again tonight. Like, it's insane. They're a really good team now. This Gonzaga team is a really good team. We talked about it as a team, and we felt like this would feel like a Final Four team, a Final Four game. And early in the season, it certainly did take on that texture for us. So they pose all kinds of challenges. But them in ball screens was really, really hard for us in the first half. It was super hard.
Jaxson, those two passes to start overtime, you're one on the side of the court and the long. I thought those were maybe the two biggest plays of the game. Can you talk about those passes and the mark, what you thought about them?
I mean, Amari ran the floor on that full court pass. He was wide open. It was risky. I mean, I threw
Trust.
it, and yeah.
Trust,
I mean,
baby.
it went through. So,
Yeah.
I mean, can't be more grateful, I guess.
Yeah.
And the pass where you found the cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great cut by Ortega. Just attacking the rim too. He didn't settle for the three. So I mean, Ortega's gonna do what Ortega does.
Yeah. Our guys we're okay making mistakes our way. And both of those plays are mistakes that are our mistakes. As long as we're making our mistakes, we're okay. And Jaxson was a little bit courageous down the stretch. Yeah, but it worked. It was awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.